Hello guys, and welcome to the Cucumber BDD and Java course, Basic to Advanced Framework Development. This course mainly focuses on using Cucumber BDD along with Selenium, WebDriver and Java. This course is broken down into various different modules. Each module has a specific goal and purpose. As part of this course, we'll be using WebDriverUniversity.com, which is my free online training platform. As previously mentioned, this course is actually broken down into individual modules. So the first module that we're going to actually be looking at is how we can set up our environment correctly. Next, we'll be looking at what exactly is Maven and how we can actually create a Maven project. We'll be then looking at Cucumber from a basic level. So in this actual module, we'll still be running over many concepts of Cucumber, but I'm going to break it down, so make it very simple because I don't want to rush the learning process. And once we've gained a greater understanding of how Cucumber works along with Selenium, WebDriver and Java, then we'll be moving on to Cucumber Advanced module. So within this advanced module, we'll be learning many concepts of Cucumber. So please make sure that you also refer to the actual course homepage, because you'll find lots of details of what's actually bundled and included within this course. Finally, we'll be looking at how to effectively design and develop an advanced Cucumber framework. I'll be showing to you many drawbacks and limitations of how you shouldn't design a framework. Then I'm going to show you how we can actually connect many key components together, which will enable us to create either a small robust framework all the way to an advanced sophisticated Cucumber framework. Within the setup module, we're going to look at how we can actually install and set up the Java JDK. We're going to look at how we can install and set up Maven. We're going to download and set up Eclipse the correct way, because there's many configuration changes that need to be added into Eclipse. We're then going to look at TestNG. We're going to download TestNG within Eclipse, and then I'm going to show you how TestNG works if you're not already familiar with TestNG. We're then going to install the relevant Cucumber add-ons within Eclipse. We're going to add an InVisual enhancement add-on to Eclipse, so our instance of Eclipse looks more visually appealing. And finally, we're going to download Chrome browser. We're going to have a look at Chrome driver and inspect what exactly is Chrome driver and how we can use it to execute our test cases. Okay, so once we've actually dealt with all the setups and configuration changes to set up our environment, next we're going to move on to the Maven module. We're going to look at what exactly is Maven and how we can create a Maven project. We're going to look at what exactly is a POM file, why use a POM file, and how we can use a POM file to our advantage. And finally, we're going to look at important commands, Maven commands that you must know, especially if you want to develop your own frameworks or if you work in the industry. I'm just going to run over some important Maven commands so you become more familiar of how to use these specific commands to your advantage. Once we've established a better understanding of Maven, then we're going to move on to the Cucumber module. So as previously discussed, I don't want to actually rush the learning process. I feel that someone should be slowly introduced to the concepts of Cucumber. So within this module, it's just going to basically be an overview of how Cucumber works. So what we'll be learning is what exactly is Gherkin. We're going to be looking at what exactly are feature files, what are step definition classes and how they're connected to feature files, what exactly are runner classes. We're going to look at reporting, And then finally, we're going to look at how we can actually integrate Selenium WebDriver. So within this module, once we've actually finished this module, you should have a better understanding in your head and overview of how Cucumber works and how all these components are interconnected. Once you've become more familiar with the key components of Cucumber, then we're going to finally move on to the advanced module. Please note, refer to the actual contents of this course because I'm not listing all the actual components that we'll be learning within this PowerPoint presentation. So please make sure that you also refer to the actual course contents because you'll get full listings of everything that we'll be learning. So within the Cucumber Advanced module, we will be looking at key components of Cucumber in more detail. For example, we're going to look at advanced Gherkin keywords such as given, when, then. We're then going to look at feature files, how we can actually create multiple scenarios, how we can use scenario outlines and examples to advantage to avoid code duplication. We're then going to look at what exactly are step definition classes, how we can parameterize specific components of our test cases, and at the same time use lists and data tables. We're going to look at how we can use runner classes, what actually constructs the key components of a runner class, such as looking at the various different Cucumber options. We're going to look at hooks, tags, and also how we can actually embed TestNG within our actual Cucumber framework and how we can actually create a TestNG execution file. We're going to look at reporting at an advanced level, how we can generate different types of reports and at the same time add exception images to our reports. And finally, we're going to look at Selenium integration at a more advanced level, how we can actually set up our Maven project correctly, taking full advantage of Selenium, and at the same time creating classes and custom methods which will enable us to create effective test cases. Okay, so once we've reached the final module, we're going to look at how we can actually design and develop an advanced Cucumber framework. So some of the concepts that we'll be looking at is project architecture, setting up our project the correct way, looking at different project designs and creating the relevant packages for our project. We're going to then look at what exactly is a driver factory, how we can set up and create a driver factory, and what are exactly the benefits of a driver factory. So this is one very important component. We'll then be looking at configuration class, so creating a configuration class to read data from a properties file. We'd also create a constant class, and inside that constant class we're going to house dynamic locators or directories which will enable us to copy and paste our project to different locations, and it's going to do all the hard work for us so we don't have to keep updating. For example, if we're pointing to a specific .exe file, our actual constant file is going to create a unique dynamic directory for us so we don't have to keep changing the actual directories that we use in our actual framework. So once you reach a specific module, it's going to show you step by step how you can actually create a constant file. We can look at how we can create advanced hooks, how we can actually house our hooks into one central class, because one of the drawbacks of Cucumber is that you can't actually inherit a class which contains hooks. So I'm going to show you a way how we can bypass that architectural limitation. We're going to look at advanced reports, how we can further actually enhance our reports. We're going to look at page object modeling, how we can actually model specific pages of a website. So we can actually create dynamic locators of a specific web page and house those locators into individual classes. We can look at base page. So what exactly is a base page? I'm going to give you free access to a base page I've already created, which comes bundled with bespoke methods. We're going to look at modeling different pages of a website using subpages, which will inherit the base page class. We're going to look at how we can create batch files to execute our project. And finally, we're going to look at continuous integration, how we can set up Jenkins and enable Jenkins to automatically execute our project over given times. Let's say we want to execute our project every 10 minutes. We're going to make Jenkins do the hard work for us. And we're also going to add add-ons to Jenkins, which will enable us to create and generate advanced reports, which look very visually appealing. And at the same time, attach exception images and feed those images to the reports which are generated within Jenkins.